This company said they had it exclusively. Oh, did they?
Sorry, I was talking from a company perspective. Eden Realty.
Eden Realty.
Hello, team. We are the Two Fat Brokers, and you are most welcome. I am Barney from Dubai.
I'm Ben from Abu Dhabi.
And today we have phantasmagorical news. It is not often I am proud to be associated with this man here, but today...
This isn't a shameless plug, is it?
Today of all days,
Moi.
my brother
Blushing bride.
has some fantastic news. Ben, share with us.
Yes, it's not often that we plug our businesses on this podcast. We don't often plug
Eden Realty.
Eden Realty.
You forgot again.
I was going to say Genesis, but that's
Genocide.
the garden
Genocide Realty.
Yeah. Or Crompton Partners Estate Agents in Abu Dhabi. But we just won a master brokerage on a new project in Abu Dhabi. I don't know when this podcast is going out, so it might have launched already. Hopefully it's sold out, but we have a master brokerage, and so we thought it'd be kind of an interesting podcast to do about how these sorts of things work in the UAE, how brokers deal with them, how they reflect on buyers as well. So what a master brokerage is we're basically acting for the developer as their sales team on site. So there's a developer of a compound in Abu Dhabi. It's already built, it's already occupied. They don't have their own sales team, so they've employed us to help them sell it, not on an exclusive basis, but we will also work with external brokers to
Not on
sell
an
it
exclusive
fast.
process. My pride has...
No, it is on an exclusive basis. So we're the master broker. So although it's on an exclusive basis, we're not just going to be selling it ourselves. We'll open it up to the market as well, but everyone goes through us.
Yeah. I would still
we're
call that
the
exclusive.
master. Yeah, but then we do work with other brokerages, so it's not like you can only work through us.
No, you see, in Dubai, if you have something, you have exclusivity on something, doesn't mean only you can sell it. You just hold the listing. So anybody can buy it, but they come through you. You represent the seller exclusively.
That's another cool thing that evil brokers do, is saying they've got something exclusive when they don't. Yeah.
I think of one individual immediately, who shall remain nameless.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, but this company said they had it exclusively. Oh, did they?
Did they? Well, that's interesting.
Show me the contract. Yeah. So, so we're the sales team on site, and we're, doing the marketing and doing the viewings and coordinating the brokerage.
Cool, man. I'm super proud of you.
Stuff like
That's
that.
wicked.
Thank you very much.
And how did you get this? Was it put out to tender, or did you approach them?
No, it was put out to tender. They called us and asked us to tender for it. So we went through a few rounds of interviews, and and we won it.
How were those interviews? What kind of things did they ask you?
That's a great question.
Were you at them?
I was there. Yeah. No, I mean, generally about the market. I think when you're a developer and it's very dangerous to hire a company, particularly in a let's say a fractured market like Abu Dhabi. It's very difficult to hire a company to represent you who are going to do a good and straight and honest job, but also,
what is a fractured market?
Lots of brokerages.
We'll come back.
Let's say lots of brokerages.
Interrupted.
Yeah. It's very difficult and full of pitfalls, because a lot of brokerages get these exclusive, contracts, and they just want to sell it all themselves because they're incentivized. They get more commission if they sell it, and another broker will come with a client and they'll steal that client or not give the broker the right information, etc., which has happened quite a few times in Abu Dhabi. And so I think a lot of developers have been burnt. So it is very difficult to try and to make sure that you get a company who won't do that, and we won't do that. But obviously, we would say that even if we, anyway, I'll just get going round in my own head there, try to be as honest as possible. But someone who will obviously represent the developer, but also, be even-handed with all the brokers in the market, because the developer obviously wants this spread out.
What did you say to convince them that you are not one of those humbugs who would just keep it all to themselves?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I've got a trustworthy face. No, but to be honest, this developer are very good in that they have asked us for a list of brokers that we will approach. They want to see the contracts with those brokers to make sure the brokers are getting the information that they need, and I hope they'll check up on us to make sure that we're treating those developers even-handedly. But there is a huge, motivation for some agencies to do all the deals themselves and not split the commission with the other brokerages. Mm-hmm. So what we've done is we've incentivized the sales team on site to be paid exactly the same, no matter if the client comes from another brokerage or it's a walk-in or it comes from Crompton Partners, they get paid like the same. So they're not incentivized because there's a lot of even developers, and I think we spoke about this a couple of months ago, where the developers sales team get paid more if it's a direct client than if it's with a broker.
Yeah, so an internal developers broker gets paid more commission if they do the deal directly.
Yeah, exactly, with a walk-in.
Why?
Because they don't have to pay the commission to the broker.
But they're paying more internally.
Yeah, but less. But so let's say you're a broker who's working for the developer and you get 1% for a deal with a broker, but you get 2% for a walk-in. So they're saving whatever they're paying the broker, maybe 4%. They're saving 4%. They'll give 1 to their broker, so they're saving 2. So they save money in that way. So that's a dangerous, I think a very dangerous way to incentivize your team, because then other brokers are like, I don't want to do that.
Flat fee regardless of where the
No, but that's what I'm paying my team on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah. So regardless of what I get paid or where it comes from, my team get paid exactly the same.
Okay.
So they're not incentivized to try any funny business. And they're incentivized to work with external brokers because those brokers bring deals and they get paid on the deal.
That's very much the structure of the secondary market. You're incentivized to do business with other brokers because they have lots of clients.
Actually, because you get half the commission.
You get the commission from whoever you're representing.
Right. So in Abu Dhabi, because generally only the buyer pays commission, you actually get half the commission you would if you do a split deal.
Yeah, that used to be the case before people were making a load of money in real estate and sellers all of a sudden became happy to pay fees.
Yeah.
You used to only get
commission. I think it makes more sense that the buyer and the seller both pay their respective brokers.
For sure. Yeah.
And if there's only one broker in the deal, maybe just one of them pays commission. Is that how it would be? Or would it in Dubai, if there's only one broker in the deal, would you get 4%?
Depends on what your agreement is with the seller and the buyer. If you've got a Form A signed where the seller will pay you 2% and there's no question if you bring the buyer that you keep their fee too, then have at it. But sometimes you have a conversation and one party will say, well, you're already getting paid. I'm not paying you any more than the 2%. Any more than you're getting already. But normally you'll get paid by whichever party you represent. So if you represent both, you'll get double bubble.
But legally, you're not allowed to represent both. The company can, but the broker can't.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Sorry, I was talking from a company perspective.
That was a very camp wink. Was mine camp or just yours?
I just followed suit.
Yeah. So the incentivization for the brokers needs to be really, really thought about. Like there's a really good book called Freakonomics, and it talks about incentivization and how it adjusts behavior. And so if you misincentivize the brokers, you incentivize them to basically let's say do all the deals themselves, then they will do that because people are motivated by gain for whatever reason.
You stopped at greed there, didn't you?
No, I was trying to think of something else other than gain, because gain's kind of a bit boring. Motivated by incentives or something like that. But yeah, if you mess that up, you end up with a bad brokerage system, I think. And so you've got to be very careful about how that's done. So I've divorced my sales team on the ground from how Crompton Partners gets paid from the developer by having theirs as a flat fee. So hopefully then I can manage, my motivation, and I'm not like leading them into temptation. That sounds like a biblical verse.
It is. Okay. That's the Lord's Prayer. Lead us not into temptation.
Yeah. So I'm, hopefully removing that so that they're happy to work with other brokers. And so,
So why wouldn't this developer just have an in-house team that works with everyone?
I mean, expertise, right? I mean, it's a relatively small project, so they would have to 312.
That's quite big. I was telling Mum about it
reasonable.
yesterday, and I said it was about 160. So
Yeah. Always downplaying my achievements, huh? To my
I
mum.
like to puff up my own chest. Ben.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not often I'm proud of you. So when I am, I need to dumb it down a bit.
Oh, feeling all. My heart's hurting. In a good way. So it's a relatively small and contained project, and so you could build up a whole sales team for it, but it would take time, and you need to get the right expertise in place and things like that.
Okay.
So yeah. Hopefully they're saying, okay, we want someone with like a good track record in the market, who's well respected, who can galvanize these other brokers. But I think
how many people did they put out to tender?
I don't know. I know it came down to 2 of us at the end. I don't know how many were in the tender to begin
And what
with.
set you apart from the other chap?
I don't know.
Would you not ask? Did you not ask why you got it?
Yeah, but I mean, when you ask why did I get it, you're kind of like inviting praise, aren't you? Like, tell me why I'm so good.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I'd feel uncomfortable.
Oh, you feel uncomfortable with praise? This is a new thing for me. I say you're looking very fine today.
I'll stop it.
You've gone red. Brilliant.
Yeah, I told you I'm the crier. So I don't know why we got it. I hope it's because I know it's because we interviewed well. The company did, and we said the right things.
Going to Cambridge.
I didn't mention that actually until the board presentation. So we had to have a board presentation once I'd already been given the job. That I mentioned that I was
there stunned silence?
a Cambridge trained lawyer. And I don't know if I've mentioned that before. Yeah, but that really backfired on me because they started to send me all of the sales documentation to review because their lawyer was busy. So I had to stay up late at night going over all of that and trying to seem clever with my comments, which was slightly above my my job description.
Well, you haven't been a trade lawyer for 7 years?
10.
10?
Yeah, Crompton Partners Abu Dhabi's been going for 10 years. We had our 10-year, we invited you to our 10-year anniversary. Yeah, you were there.
Was I there to that one? I went to one recently. That was last year.
You were there.
Yeah.
Mum was there
that
too.
was a good party. Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, so we've done 10 years.
Is that what that was for? I just thought it was just a knees up.
Just a jolly. Yeah, so I haven't done that for a while, but I mean, we review MOUs and that kind of thing all the time. So yeah, it's an exciting project and quite unusual that, as you say, that a developer will use an external sales team to do it. And I think the more projects developers do, they end up building their own internal sales teams. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to have a massive internal sales team. Damac have gone for like 1,000 brokers in the past, and I think now you say they've pared it down massively. Emar always had a very limited broker.
Yeah, Emar, they're not short of brokers because a lot of the time when you're selling off plan, a lot of I know for a while that they were shipping in Chinese people literally by the busload, and they would come to the showrooms. And you'd have to have brokers on the ground there to help close the transactions. What few off-plan transactions I've done, I've always taken my client to the show office of Omniat, of Emar, of Nikhil, Damac. You take them there so that they can see the projects, and the brokers can pitch your client rather than you trying to pitch it to them, because obviously they know the ins and outs. So from that perspective, I think having people in-house, which is what you will become or are for this project, the experts to be on the ground to be able to answer all of those questions, is invaluable.
Do you have any handle on how many people go direct to these developers and how many come through agents?
You would only know that as a developer.
Yeah, but developers don't, because brokers all think that all their clients go direct, right? They're like, all my clients are going direct to this developer, and I'm not getting my commission and stuff like that. But I've heard from one of the Abu Dhabi developers that it's only about 10% go direct and 90% through brokers.
Yeah, because of the kickback.
No, not necessarily.
I think it is.
No, it isn't. This is even before. Well, it wasn't before the
I'm a
kickback
buyer,
avalanche.
I'm a buyer and I go to direct and no commission gets paid. I'm a buyer and I go to an agent who then represents me and a commission gets paid, and I get some of that sweet.
That doesn't.
Cynical, yes, and that's true.
It isn't. We just went to
How much are you guys going to pay as a kickback?
2 launches. We just went to 2 launches, and I don't think we paid a kickback to any of our clients who were even asked.
But
and we lost a deal because someone did ask for a kickback, and you know, fair play to the guy. He said like, no, I'm not gonna give you a kickback.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, I do. You know,
but
I
this
do.
is what
think it's
going
true.
back. This is what I'm saying about the developers only doing 10% of their transactions directly, because it's in the buyer's interest to go and use a broker and get some sweet fees.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
people are aware of that.
So I've drafted like the for this project that we're doing, I've drafted the broker agreement. So it's like, you know, you cannot even offer a kickback. So if I see you offered a kickback, we'll withhold your commission on the deal.
What happens to that commission that's been withheld?
Give it to charity. I'm massively incentivized to keep that commission. That is true. I'll be scouring their WhatsApps with a fine-tooth comb. Can you scour with a fine-tooth comb?
I think you can for the sake of what you've just said.
Yeah.
Well, mate, congratulations, man. Genuinely, like, super happy for you.
Thanks. I hope it goes well. It'll be it's something that we've done before on another project, but this is like quite a unique project in that it's occupied. So
it's all freehold, all leaseholds?
It's all freehold. Yeah.
So I could buy 1 or 10?
You could buy 1 or 10. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. It's all tenanted at the moment. So the tenants will get the first right of refusal to purchase their own
Starting price?
3.4 million.
For a
4-bed.
detached, semi-detached, terraced?
We're calling them residences, so they're terraced.
The house. A residence is a house.
Well, I mean, we're calling them residences. It's all about marketing.
So it's a townhouse, 4-bedroom townhouse, 3.4.
Yeah, 3,300 square feet.
And if they reach the market today for rent, what kind of return on investment do you think you'd be getting?
You'd be looking at about 220, 230, I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah,
7%?
for those entry level ones. Yeah, above 6. Yeah.
Nice, man.
Thanks. Appreciate
And
it.
if you need any information, what is your Instagram handle, Ben? Because I know how much you check that. How does someone get in touch with you?
Do you really give people your Instagram handle if they want to get in touch with you? You do?
I mean,
Not
for
email
the
address
sake of
or-
this, yes, but you can give your
Talking Property 2.0.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, thanks.
And what's your telephone number?
Because 1.0 I had to take down.
Why?
Let's not talk about that.
I want to.
Marketing in real estate is a fickle game. You can easily get yourself in trouble.
And what is your office landline number so that people can call you if they
I
need?
have no idea.
Go get your phone out. Come on. This is an opportunity.
We'll put it in the comments below, wherever this is being posted.
All right, guys. Well, once more, I am very proud of you, dude. I am.
Stop
really
saying
happy.
that, really.
It's the last time it's being immortalized.
I'm telling
right
Mum.
now. We have been Two Fat Brokers. I have been Barney from Dubai.
I've been Ben from Abu Dhabi.
See you next time.
Bye.